It feels so good to be back up until I realized what was on the agenda today. Campers, thank you for checking us out again. This is Aging Gracefully. I'm Matthew Essex. I'm going to apologize beforehand. I'm going to try to keep my energy up. But we're talking about Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. 1985's release by the late Danny Steinman. We have hit a giant Roy-sized roadblock in our beloved Friday film franchise. Let's just get right into it. Best sequence of the movie, the very beginning of the movie. We have Tommy Jarvis, still at this point, played by Corey Feldman, traipsing through the woods during a rainstorm. Now, Tommy Jarvis is in this movie. Corey Feldman does not primarily play him, but we'll get to that. In the beginning, we see him looking for Jason's grave. He checks it out for whatever reason, maybe foreshadowing for the next film. Who knows? A couple guys come along and they decide they want to dig up the grave. Well, that goes poorly. Jason wakes up, claims a couple more victims, and then he sees Tommy Jarvis, young Tommy Jarvis, huddled up in a bush in the rain, and Jason approaches him. Boom. New Tommy wakes up in the back of a van. We realize it's a significant time jump, almost unexplainable. This Tommy looks like he's at least 32 with a couple of kids he doesn't know about tucked away somewhere. And he's also being carted from one mental facility to what looks to be a halfway house in the woods of all places. Now, he's traumatized. He's got a lot going on. A lot happened to him at a young age, so I understand that part of it. We didn't get Corey Feldman because Corey Feldman had committed to making The Goonies, which is probably a smart career move, all things considered. So the new guy, he isn't given much to do. There's not a lot of lines, and we wind up holding it against him probably unfairly, but this is the low point for Tommy Jarvis. The cast itself, very, very, very bland. We could cast a better group of people if we leave our house, go to the closest Dollar General, and just pluck them from the aisles. I guarantee you we would have something better than what they gave us with this movie. Now, Reggie the Reckless was okay. He was entertaining. His grandfather was entertaining. They brought a little bit of life to it. Ethel was foul-mouthed and entertaining. Her nephew or son or whatever that guy is, I could have done without him. It's just a tough watch. I mean, it looks hot. It looks uncomfortable. We have a kill every 4 minutes, so if you like that sort of carnage, I personally prefer to be afraid rather than a high body count. I like fear. I like tension. I like people to root for. You root actively for the people in this movie to meet their demise. You really do. And that kind of feels weird to say something like that, but that's where we're at with Friday the 13th Part 5. That's where we're at. The body count is like 21 in this movie. I mean, it's in the 20s. And we talked about it earlier in previous videos. Quantity does not replace quality. It doesn't work. I mean, I don't want to see a massacre for the sake of a massacre. I want to see something creative, innovative, at the very least entertaining. I wish we got some of that. We got none of it. We didn't even get Jason in this movie. We got Roy, the pissed off EMT. At the onset of this movie, Roy is bagging up a kid at this halfway house, and you get this icy look from the dude. And you just know that there's something dark with this guy. You don't know exactly what's going to happen because there's no way they could have a Friday the 13th without Jason. Sure enough, they made a Friday the 13th without Jason. Turns out the boy that he bagged up was his own son, and it caused him to snap, and he decided to use Jason's MO to decide to just start offing people. I mean, he got mad and he started killing people, and what better way than to wear a bootleg hockey mask and run around in a jumpsuit and pretend to be Jason Voorhees. Reggie made it out okay, obviously, and obviously Tommy made it out okay because we get a better version of him in the next movie. Doesn't age gracefully. I'm not a fan. I hate talking about it just now, but I think that's where the healing begins. I think if you find like-minded people who have suffered the same sort of trauma within this movie industry, you can talk about what happened, and it's going to carry you through. And I appreciate you guys letting me vent and letting me do that. Don't watch this movie if you can avoid it. Stay away. Don't let it near your video collection. If it's on streaming, block it if you can. Doesn't age well. Doesn't age gracefully. It's 2 out of 10 is being generous. It was just not a good movie. That's it. That's all. I'm so very sorry you had to deal with that, and I will see you on the other side.